Good morning, fellow Ambazonians. Today, na Thursday, number 17 day for this number 11 month for the year 2022. My name na Capo Daniel, the Deputy Defense Chief of the Ambazonian Defense Forces and the spokesperson of the Ambazonian Governing Council, aka Sense Past King, una own countryman. Una welcome to our daily podcast, a program where we bring una the truth, we bring una meaningful information, fact-based analysis for help we as we work for this journey to our freedom, the independence of Ambazonia. Great people and good people of Ambazonia at home, abroad, our IDPs and refugees and asylum seekers and all citizens spread across the globe, una welcome. We start today with La République du Cameroon terror attack in the Atlantic state following a devastating blow carried out by a general transporter of Socadef.
15th of November 2022 of the South. Show them. Go show them live.
The video released by General Transporter of the Socadef of the APLM show how they ambushed a Cameroon military convoy inside the Savannah state. According to their report, 3 Cameroon terrorist forces were shot dead in that attack. The attack took place in Ekedewindi. The next day, that is yesterday on Wednesday, the Cameroon terrorist military have killed 2 innocent civilians in Mbanduma after they have failed to be able to back up their military convoy that was attacked. In anger, they have turned their guns, gunning down and executing 2 Ambazonian male randomly for no reason. These are war crimes. This is consistent, this is systemic killing of our innocent civilians by the state of Cameroon without any justification, without any provocation or any crossfire. These 2 individuals were killed in Mile 16, over 3 kilometers away from the point of conflict. The coward Cameroon terrorist occupation forces could not face the brave Ambazonian soldiers, but then they turned their weapons to execute innocent civilians. If there is any lesson to be drawn by our people from such coward attacks on our innocent unarmed civilians, it is to show us that the Ambazonian forces, their action represents the consciousness, the will of all Ambazonians. That is why in reprisals, La République du Cameroon targets all Ambazonians. They don't kill their own civilians to blame Ambazonian fighters. They kill our innocent civilians because they know the Ambazonian fighters are fighting for those innocent civilians. This is an evidence of the 2 countries. Let all Ambazonians know that this is their fight. These are their forces. Anyone who thinks that this fight not their own, not some other people their own, you have made the wrong conclusion. Our people are being slaughtered unprovoked in their house, on their way to school, in their farms. It doesn't matter whether you think you belong to Ambazonia or not, whether you think you are participating in the war or not. All it matters to the Cameroon occupation forces is that you are an Ambazonian by nationality, and they will gun you down any place, anywhere, with any reason and without any reasons. We are facing an existential threat, and all Ambazonians should participate to defend themselves, provide intelligence, and help our forces to liberate our homeland from Cameroon occupation and terrorism. In the Savannah state as well, Cameroon terrorism strikes in Bui, in Mulov, where a young man who was passing through a plate checkpoint of Cameroon military, they just set up the checkpoint to lay their ambush. They just hold this young man, put him on the tar, execute him, remove his trousers to expose his genital. The same humiliation that we have seen across our national territory. We will not rest until we carry out reprisals for such attacks against our innocent civilians, and we will deliver until the last Cameroon military is booted out of our territory. Yesterday, another nursery school had their graduation in Ambazonia, up there in Santa. This is a school that was opened by the Ambazonian Governing Council in a place where school did not exist. The school also have carried out its graduation, preparing their nursery school children to get into primary school. Ambazonians might wonder how long have these children been in school to be graduating today. We have many pilot programs with our community school. There are some community schools that start in January, and these are organic Ambazonian Governing Council community schools that we start the calendar from January. We still have schools that start in the regular September, since we have not yet harmonized, and this is a pilot program. We continue to launch our school start day in September, in line with the vast majority of our school. There are schools that goes on from September. There are others that starts from January, and this just depends on the area of control and the level of control that we have in that area and how practical it is. The most important thing is that due to our policy for education, our public campaign for the right of our students to education, we have reversed our migration into La Republique for studies. Our students have come back. We have quadrupled the amount of students that were attending schools in Ambazonia, from 80,000 2 years ago to 400,000 today. We have approved over 281 community schools that are of the private sector, the religious sector, to open their door. And the Ambazonian Governing Council pushed the same agenda with many other defense groups in Toronto, which all adopted resolution that acknowledge our progress in education sector and accept that all community should be allowed to run community schools. We will continue to encourage a community school and assume responsibility for our own future. Independence means independence. Independence does not just mean you go and shoot one gun, kill an ekelebe. It is a multiple approach to the war for our liberation. Independence also is self-defense. Make no mistake about it. But it is not just on one dimension. It must be multi-dimensional. Fellow Ambazonians, Cameroon is dead. It's finished. Not only have this manifested itself in the international forums, but as well on their books. The documents that were studied yesterday by a team of Ambazonians who assess the Cameroon strength and its economic trend have brought up documents that have shown how Cameroon's economy have collapsed and the amount of money that has dropped from the Cameroon treasury. We will be making some of those documents available to our people. It is just a matter of time for La Republique Cameroon to bleed out of our territory. We must focus to attack them. We must focus to bring down their economic infrastructure. And we ask all Ambazonians who are in La Republique's territory to engage with us with intelligence. And for those who live around areas where our cash crop are still being exploited, to provide those information so that actions can be followed up. And if you can do something, please volunteer. This is a collective struggle, even as much as we organize ourselves for effectiveness. There is jittering going on with La Republique du Cameroon, as many of their patrols have stopped, and they have increased the number of their patrols in certain areas when they want to make moves. Our forces will continue to be vigilant. Our posture remains that of a guerrilla tactics, and we will continue to execute this war in this manner. We call on our people to know that we are winning, and winning is not just noise. Ambazonia is taking full charge of its territory. We should be confident in ourselves and should realize the progress we are making day by day. Do not just rely on social media noise, otherwise you will be deceived by the enemy. But focus on tangible progress that is consistent with our expectation for eventual recognition of Ambazonian sovereignty. Capo Daniel, signing off.